This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Gnadenthal. But before that, this video is brought to you by Big Joe Mammoth and Frank Muse. Thank you for being farm barons. So the map Gnadenthal can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC players only. Now this is a 4X map, so it is 4 times the size of a standard farm sim map, and that is the reason that this map is available for PC players, because we have yet to see on console a 4X map be released. Let's read a little bit of the description. Welcome to Gnadenthal. This map is located in Manitoba, Canada. The map is based off a real town of Gnadenthal and the fields around it, but quite a bit of things were changed to improve gameplay. There are over 100 realistically sized fields, contracts from all fields, 2 farm areas, nearly 50 houses with individual farmlands, and sleeping points. So if you bought all of the farmlands, there are over 50 sleep triggers. This is a really cool concept, and we're going to demonstrate this when we get into the map. There are 3 selling points in Blumengart Grain, Blumengart Exports, and the animal dealer. There are 2 rivers from which you can refill trailers with water. This map is perfect for running big-scale farming operations. I have to say, I'm going to have to agree with that. Let's go ahead and load on in. We are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. We'll say if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find the farms built out exactly how you're going to see them here in new farmer mode, with the exception you do not own any machinery at the start, nor do you own any land at the start. If you are playing with precision farming, this map includes the generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. We're going to take a look and see how that gets applied to the farmlands also here in a little bit. So we start out at our farmhouse, or basically the farmhouse that we own. What you're going to find is up and down this street, there are houses. Like that house over there in the distance. And then there is a cross street where there are a bunch of houses on either side of the main thoroughfare, north and south on the map. Every single house has a sleep trigger if you own it. So you could literally buy any house you wanted, and therefore you have a place to lay your head at night in the map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map itself. So here toward the center of the map, we have some reasonably sized small and medium fields. And then we get into the bigger fields to the north and south. Now remember, this is a 4X map. So all of these fields are 4 times larger than they would appear initially here on the PDA. This map does have all the standard crop types available to us here in Farm Sim 22. And if we take a look at the lands area, you'll see that we start out by owning the main farmyard, which is located right here. It is 21 acres in size itself. It's going to cost you $529,000 to buy. You also own Field 96 and our farm house. That is 3.9 acres in size and it's $94,000. We own Field 51 at the start, which is 22.59 acres, $548,000 to buy. We also own Field 38, 21.8 acres, $511,000 to buy. And every single one of these houses can be bought. And if you own any of these houses, you will have a sleep trigger. Now there is a second farm right here, kind of catty-cornered across from the main starting farm. It is a bit smaller, 9.55 acres in size, and is $231,000 to buy. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our field farmland lease screen. And our farmland lease screen is going to show us the farmlands that we own and do not own. If the farmland happens to include a field or fields, which fields they are, how big the buyable farmland is, and how much. the farmland is going to cost us. So let's just go ahead and kind of slowly scroll through this list. You see that a lot of the farmlands are fairly large in size, and that is going to give us a pretty good clue of how big lots of these fields are going to be here on this particular map. Of course, if you want to, you can scroll through this list a little bit slower or faster while you're watching the video, and then cross-reference the fields and the farmlands and the prices here with respect to the actual fields that we're about to show you, and you'll see how big those fields are compared to the actual farmlands. So here we have the field calculator screen. We use this to show us the actual field sizes, and then you can compare that against to the farmland lease screen to see how much it's going to cost you to buy any one of these particular fields. But you can see here, field 30 is 60 hectares in size. And then we get down here to some of these smaller fields, which are less than a half of a hectare in size. So we have quite the array of field sizes, and as a result, quite the spread in land prices. Let's go ahead and see how the generic soil map is applied to the map. As you can see, we have quite the array of loamy sand and sandy loam and loam quite there toward the center of the map. And then to the north and south, we have swaths of silty clay mixed in. Let's go ahead and take a look at our crop counter. Now, the description doesn't say anything specific about a crop counter that is specific to the area or weather that is specific to the area. Looking at the crop counter, it looks like we do indeed have a generic crop counter, the normal crop counter that we're used to seeing on most Farm Sim 22 maps. And then when we take a look at our prices screen, you will see that we basically have one grain sell point and one export sell point available on the map. We do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game crops, our animal outputs, as well as silage, hay, straw, and grass. And then as we get down here to our productions, while there are no productions built into the map, that is correct, no productions built into the map, we do indeed have the ability to sell each and every base game production item that we could create if we were to put down a facility. Now, we do not have the ability to buy bulk lime, and we do not have a stone crusher pre-placed on the map. So if we do play with stones enabled, and quite frankly, with the size of these fields, I don't know why on earth you would do that, but if you do play with stones enabled, you will need to put down your own stone crusher. We take a look at our starting fleet. It is all new. None of it is leased. We do not have any animals at the start. We do have contracts available, but right now we're not showing up any on the screen, but the description does say that we do have contracts available, and we do not have any production chains built into the map, period. So therefore, we don't own anything at the start. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. We start out with the John Deere 6250R and a 7810 medium tractor. We have a T560 harvester, and that is paired up with the 625X grain header. We also have the Nardi N40BX header trailer. We have the 1986 pickup truck, as well as the Branter TA 23065/2 Power Tube Plus trailer. We have the Grimmy Evo 290 potato harvester, the Grimmy GL 420 potato planter, and the KS 75 potato topper. We have the Lemken Samgard 9500K cultivator, the Rebel Classic 600T disc harrow. We have the Pottinger TerraSim C6F seeder. We have the 4500 2C Super Amazon planter. We have a front loader arm, as well as a pallet fork and bucket for the front loader. And then we have the 1800 kilogram John Deere front weight. Now I'm going to go ahead and tab up to our main farm. It is a little bit removed from where we have our farmhouse at the start. See, most of our farm machinery is stored inside of this shed. Now, the entirety of the main farm can be sold So, can the farms be customized? Yes, indeed. The farm can be customized. We can sell all of the buildings here at the main farm, as well as the silos that are going to be located right here. So we have the base game silo system. We have our dump and fill point, and then we have 4 silo extensions, 2 small there, and then one larger located right there. And that is pretty much the starting farm. Let's go ahead and take a look at build mode. There are no custom sheds included with the map. Silos, silo extensions, containers, tools, or farmhouses. Those are all base game items. There are no custom production built in. Sell points, greenhouses, orchards, and generators are also all standard. We have all base game animal areas. Decoration, and if we take a look at our ground textures, they are all base game ground textures. And then we have our base game plants. So nothing out of the ordinary there in build mode. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up for the fly around. We're going to fly around the map and take a look kind of at how the land is set up here. The map is fairly flat, but we do have quite a bit of things that are kind of interesting to take a look at, kind of unique to this particular map. Let's get a little bit of altitude and go ahead and take a look around. The big takeaway on this map is farmland for literally as far as you can see. Straight up to the north, we can barely see it, but that is where basically all of the sell points are located. Field 51 is directly below us. That's the one we own at the start. And all of these houses, all of the houses that you see on the map are all buyable. And if you buy them, there will be a sleep trigger associated with it. So if you don't want to have the farmhouse that's somewhat removed, it's kind of off in the distance down there. If you don't want that as your farmhouse and you would rather have the farmhouse that's right across the street from the main farm, well, you could sell that house and then buy this one right here. And you would have a sleep trigger there. I think that's a really cool idea. I'd like to see that implemented on other maps where literally you could buy any house on the map and you would have a sleep trigger associated with it. Also means this map is perfect for multiplayer. Now, while we don't have a whole lot of pre-built farms, there's a whole lot of houses here you could start out and buy and then kind of work your way out from there. Now, in addition, you're going to find scattered around these house areas some 3-bay garages. If you buy the land, you can sell the building. Now, if you buy the land, it has the farmhouse. You could sell the farmhouse, but what you actually end up selling is the sleep trigger, not the farmhouse itself. So like these 2 buildings, they can be sold. The farmhouse is going to remain. The sleep trigger can be sold. And while I said that this map does not have pre-built production, it does have, in my opinion, areas set aside for production. So we are still going to give the map a full point with respect to having production built in. No, it doesn't. But it does have areas that I feel are basically set aside for the placement of production. So for example, here we have this building, which you could buy, and it has this empty lot next to it. And right now we have a little bit of a sand lot, baseball field. And you could buy this lot and you could put something down here, you know, really upset the local kids. They wouldn't have a baseball field anymore, but you could do something like that and put down production. So here is our farmhouse, just to give you a little sense of where things are located. So we've got our farmhouse there, and then our farm is right up the road. This farm, if you buy this secondary farm, all of the buildings all of the grain silos can be sold as well. There's a fair bit of land that's not used on the main farm that could be used for animal areas or placeables such as production areas. Now, I would like to have seen, and maybe because the real life area isn't built out with a whole lot of businesses, that we don't see it here on the map, but I would like to have seen maybe some businesses pre-placed. I mean, I think we could have easily had a bakery and a couple of the other more basic production areas, not so much factories, but just kind of other production areas here. So again, all of these houses have sleep triggers when you buy the land. And then this plot up here by field 39, another one of those 3-bay garages, 3-bay sheds. So you can easily buy this, sell a shed, and then put a spinnery in here or whatever, right? There's a better way over by field 30. We have a maintenance trigger over here by field 30. Now, if you look at the PDA, it comes up as a shop icon, but it is just a maintenance trigger. There is actually a shop trigger up by field 12 that includes a shop maintenance trigger that will allow you to repaint and such. But here you can see we've got a fair bit of land here at the main starting farm that is unused. This corner is unused. There is a plot right here that is buyable, that is completely void of anything that you could put production down for. And then this facility here, it is kind of a satellite shop. So you see the maintenance trigger here when we come up to it. It just has repair and customize, right? It doesn't have repaint. That's going to be reserved for the dealer trigger up at the main dealership, which is straight up this road between fields 29, 30, 17, 14. Let's go ahead and make our way up to the shop, to the other sell points. And I really don't think we're going to do a drive around because there's nothing really to drive around to. Everything is located up here in this area. So once we get done with the fly around portion, I'm going to go ahead and buy all of the farmlands just to show you all of the sleep triggers. Again, all of these houses up here, they can all be bought. They can all have sleep triggers. So we have our shop trigger. We will get the Mahindra just to see where it spawns in at. So our machinery spawns in around back. Decent area for machinery to spawn. And then we have our shop trigger. And this is the one that has the repaint function. So we have repair, repaint, and customize. Here we have our grain sell point. Located right there. And then we have kind of our exports sell point across the street. Right here. We have our animal dealer. This is going to be our bale sell point and silage and such. Then we have our animal buy point located right here. So let me go ahead and buy all of the farmlands on the map. And we'll basically show you where all of the various possible sleep triggers, but pretty much everything and anything can be bought. Individual fields, individual houses, and such. All right, now we have bought the farmlands, and you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 farmhouses located up here. And then we have a couple farmhouses over here. All the other farmhouses along the street. All right there. So, like I said, you could have any house on the map could be a farmhouse. And if we looked, you could sell the sleep triggers, but you can't actually sell the buildings, or at least the houses that are here. But you can buy this land, and then you can put something down here as production. I'm not a big fan of getting rid of fields, but of course you can get rid of these smaller fields and put production points down. We argue the map a full point with respect to having production areas built in. While there aren't any production areas built in, we do have, in my opinion, ample areas where you could put production and not sacrifice field space. So we're going to give the map a full point there. We can indeed sell every single thing that we can grow or produce base game here on this map without having to put down additional placeables. So we are going to give the map a full point there. Everything at both pre-placed farms can be sold. In addition, areas where we have buildings, Farm Sim 22 sheds and such on other land. If we own that land, we can sell it. So farms can indeed be customized. Buildings, where appropriate, are indeed using the new texture technique because these are all buildings from Elm Creek. And I do believe, in my opinion, that the triggers that do exist on the map are clearly marked. So what does that mean? Well, guys, that means that this map is going to score a perfect score of 5 out of 5 because it does indeed play towards all of the areas that we are looking for as far as scoring a map. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Again, for Gnadenthal, this is a Canadian 4X map. That is why it is available for PC players only. Is this going to be a map that you are going to be adding to your next playlist? Or are you going to give it a pass? Let me know. And until next time, happy farming.